Camel's first few albums are amazing, completely amazing. So, here's the review of their first 4 releases. Let's just get into them. I'm gonna talk about them in order of release. So, Camel. It starts with Slow Yourself Down, and it's a really good introduction to the album. Very classic song out of the 70s prog. This album also has a very prog sound, that memorable sound from the early 70s as showcased in the first song, but also it has a somewhat sound similar to the Canterbury scene, which I know has a very specific sound and quite a few bands and musicians from the scene, and this album from the first 4 is the one with the most of that Canterbury sound. I haven't gotten too much into it, but I intend on listening to some other bands that are more Canterbury aligned. Also love the artwork, this camel on a train through space, crazy and really cool to look at. Mystic Queen has some nice vocals, and I overall really enjoyed this song. Never Let Go might be my favorite song from this album. It has some nice vocals, and even the non-single version is accessible and fun to listen to. So yeah, this album features 2 versions of the song, the normal one and the single version, and I enjoy both of them, but I prefer the normal one. It is longer, I prefer longer songs. So next up, Aruba Luba, that's a crazy name. It has some goofy sounds, and I just love this song. It's also a really good song, and so are the other ones, 6-8 and Separation. These songs are all good, and this album just overall really solid. As far as it goes compared to the other albums, I feel like this is not the best one, but also not the worst one. Neither of these albums are bad, but this one, it was a good one. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite from the first few. Next up, we have Mirage. It starts with Freefall, and it is such a fun song and an amazing introduction to the album. I really love it. The album cover is also very nice. The drawing is cool. The title is Mirage, and you have this mirage of a camel in the desert, so I really like that. You know, the album cover goes along with the songs and the meaning, so yeah. The vocals and instrumentals on this album are all improved from the previous one, I feel. So yeah, I enjoyed this one more than the debut. The sound is better. It has more of the classic prog sound, not the Canterbury sound. I don't find it in this album. It doesn't sound like a Canterbury scene album. Super Twister is such a good instrumental. Every second of it is packed, and it's a really entertaining song. The Nimrodel medley is quite long and also a really good song. I enjoy it. Next up, we also have Earthrise, which is another instrumental, and I really like it. And Lady Fantasy is the longest track and the proggiest from this album. This is definitely my favorite track beside Freefall. And well, just reiterating what I just said, this album has a more direct progressive rock sound, while their previous release had that lingering Canterbury scene sound. Not that it is a bad thing, but I prefer this album more to the previous one. So yeah, that's Mirage. Let's move on to their third album, and the third album would be the Snow Goose. So the album cover looks nice, but not as interesting as the other 3 earlier albums. The other 3 albums from the 4 early ones. The Snow Goose is a fully instrumental album, so previously we had a few instrumental songs. This one, fully instrumental. The Great March? I wrote on the script March, but I think it's March. The Great March starts the album just as it ends it. So the track sounds like a horror piece of some horror movie or mystery movie. I do definitely recognize it from somewhere, but I can't really put the finger in it, but whatever. Other good songs we have Sanctuary, Frida, The Snow Goose, Friendship, Migration, Flight of the Snow Goose, La Princesse Perdue, and well, Dunkirk. Dunkirk is the best and my favorite song from this album. I love it. The best one, the greatest song in it. So yeah, listen to Dunkirk, it's a good song. Since this is a concept album, I enjoy it as a whole, from beginning to end, and also the fact that it is an instrumental helps with the experience as well. Something else is that this was their breakthrough album, and I can see that it is a great release, but honestly I prefer the other 3 albums. So their debut, I think it's better than this one. Not Moonmadness. Mirage is also a better album than this one, but in the end, this is not a bad album. Like, some of the instrumentals, I really like them. I even saved them up for background. Hard to say that. Background tracks for my future videos. If you don't know, right now I'm mostly uploading gameplay videos for Age of Empires 2, but I intend on making more philosophical, scientific, and, well, videos talking about topics like those. So for those videos I intended on using some instrumental music in the background, and I downloaded some of the tracks from this album to use as background tracks in the future. So yeah, this album's a good one. Not my favorite from Camel, but still really good album. To end up, Moonmadness. The album cover is a bit weird, but I like this drawing. There is many old progressive rock albums with covers just like this one, a weird drawing to catch your attention, and that represents the psychedelic and crazy sound of the music, and I really like that. This is a good album cover. Aristoteles is a very goofy fun song to start the album. It's a good introduction and I really like it. A song within a song is the first actual song from the album. I said song so many times. Like the rest of the album, it has some really relaxing melodies and vocals all throughout it. It ends in a really upbeat and exciting way. Every song in this album is just amazing, by the way. And the next would be Chord Change, another great song. Spirit of the Water. It's a very short song, but also great. And Another Night, next song, reminds me a lot of the band UK. I made a video mentioning their debut. It's that video, 15 random progressive rock albums revealed. If you would like to watch that video, I highly recommend it. And the closing tracks are Airborne and Lunar Sea, 2 amazing tracks, the longest and the most relaxing and just most memorable songs out of this album. So I highly recommend those tracks as well. They are really good, and this album is my favorite one out of the first 4. I feel like they improved. Each new release was better than the previous one, even though the Snow Goose is at the bottom, the least favorite one from these first 4. But still, really good release, and I would highly recommend you to listen to Camel's early albums. In the future, I intend on listening to their other releases, because I also think that they're good. I don't think that they went down in quality. They're also good, but for now, these 4 albums are the more memorable ones, and definitely the ones that most fans go back and listen to. So, Camel's an amazing band. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next time.